The biggest theft in history ever. Planned by a Bulgarian woman named Ruja Ignatova, she built an unprecedented, massive, fraudulent empire, subjugating 3 million people in a short time, stealing a fortune estimated at $5 billion, then disappeared, and has not been found, nor has her fortune, to this day. How did a woman manage to subjugate people of all nationalities and take their money in simple ways right in front of the governments of the world, putting them in an embarrassing position despite being monitored from the start? A very smart criminal. Her disappearance puzzled intelligence agencies and researchers, prompting the American Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, to offer a reward worth $5 million. For anyone who provides information leading to the arrest of Ruja Ignatova, known as the Crypto Queen, who is one of the most wanted worldwide for fraud operations related to the cryptocurrency sector. The story of Ruja Ignatova began when she obtained a master's degree in economics from a German university, and then she decided to continue her studies at Oxford University, where she earned a doctorate in law. After finishing her studies, she decided to return to her hometown in Bulgaria, where the dream of immense wealth had been with her since childhood to save her family living in poverty in Bulgaria. And since she could not achieve this dream through education despite obtaining advanced degrees, Ruja Ignatova decided to use her extraordinary intelligence to amass vast amounts of money in a short time through fraudulent means. By establishing a legal cryptocurrency project called OneCoin to compete with Bitcoin. Exploiting the opportunity of the Bitcoin founder's anonymity attracted the trust and greed of customers to buy the legal OneCoin currency. In order to make this idea successful and bring it to reality, Ruja Ignatova resorted to planning and assembling a suitable team that believed in her project and helped her achieve her goal. In the year 2013, she established a strong network of relationships with Bulgarian businessmen and politicians. She was assisted by the Icelandic model Adis Ran, nicknamed the Ice Queen. Then she met a Swedish businessman, Sebastian Greenord, a renowned expert in marketing cosmetics, dietary supplements, and cryptocurrencies. To persuade him to join the OneCoin project and market it, Ruja Ignatova entered into a romantic relationship with Sebastian Greenwood, despite being married, in order to control his emotions and influence his decisions to work in her favor. She then convinced him to be the #1 agent to bring the OneCoin project to reality. The OneCoin project was launched in 2014, with the company being founded by Ruja Ignatova and Sebastian Greenwood, who possesses exceptional intelligence and ability to promote the currency, market it, and persuade people to buy. As for Ruja, she was concerned with managing the administrative and financial affairs of the company, and she called herself the Crypto Queen. And she managed to execute her plan well, creating value and prestige for her company, OneCoin, through the respect and seriousness in work she gained from Oxford University and her previous experience as a financial consultant at a famous global German company, based on her resume. And the way it operated and convinced people by Sebastian, people started trusting the OneCoin currency and buying it in large numbers, and the money began to flow into the financial treasury of Ruja's company, providing her with enough liquidity to open the way for the development and expansion of OneCoin's influence through advertisements to attract a larger number of investors. For this reason, Ruja and Sebastian decided to introduce a new idea to people through the internet for network marketing and to promote the first exceptional enticing offer, which is as follows: buy an educational package for $5,000. In return, you receive 60,000 tokens of the OneCoin currency, which exists only in the company's virtual world. The price of one token is $4. Thus, we know that 60,000 tokens equal $240,000. meaning that the value of the investment multiplies by about 50 times. This is how investment advertisements initially reached people. Due to greed and lack of focus, many people from different countries around the world bought this offer. Some customers bought this offer more than 20 times. In other words, they invested amounts reaching $100,000 in OneCoin currency. OneCoin clients were able to make money themselves. The process is also done in a pyramid marketing way. For example, Stefan sells the token package to Sarah and Youssef for $5,000 each, totaling $10,000. In return, Stefan receives a commission of 10% from this deal, which is $1,000. And 2 weeks later, Sarah and Youssef sell 4 token packages to Noor, Khaled, Mariam, and Mohammed. In return, they receive a commission of $1,000. And the trick here is that Stefan will receive an additional new commission of $1,000 without having to sell anything because he benefits from any sale within his production team. If Stefan has 1,000 people selling token packages every 2 weeks, it will reach $1 million. In return, he will receive a commission of $100,000 every 2 weeks. The sales method involves paying 40% in OneCoin and 60% in real dollars. Thus, Stefan earns $60,000 every 2 weeks. It is a profitable business for the few clients at the top of the pyramid, while the rest of the clients gradually find themselves at the bottom, receiving small amounts or nothing at all. It is a highly sophisticated scam orchestrated by the company's head, Ruja Ignatova. Since the launch of this operation, money began to flow abundantly, and the number of business meetings doubled, proving the idea's success in front of the world. Thousands of investors got involved in this brilliant project, which spread a good reputation about the OneCoin currency, which caused the number of people buying it to multiply from hundreds of thousands to millions in a very short time. At the same time, Ruja Ignatova was investing the money in purchasing valuable real estate in different countries around the world, including a famous restaurant in the Bulgarian capital, Sofia, for $5 million. And 4 months later, she bought another building opposite the National Parliament for $6 million, both of which are famous landmarks in Bulgaria. In August of the year 2015, she bought a large villa and an adjacent hotel on the Black Sea coast in Sozopol, which cost her $21 million. In contrast, Ruja Ignatova was living under great pressure due to work stress, numerous calls, and travels. She answered all her phone calls day and night and continuously sought to expand her network connections. And in December of the year 2015, her wealth was estimated at $1 billion thanks to the money she collected from investors she deceived. During this period, Ruja Ignatova opened many new offices for her project in different countries, reaching Africa and Asia. The fake OneCoin currency also continued to rise daily compared to the beginning, where one OneCoin was worth a few cents. And months later, its value rose to $6, then reached $47. These amounts were fictitious. It was only possible to buy OneCoin with these amounts, and investors were not allowed to withdraw their full funds from the company's official site except by cashing out small amounts. The goal was to gain the trust of new investors to inject their money abundantly without hesitation. In May 2016, funds amounting to $3 billion were deposited from all over the world. In the box of MIS Limited Company, Ruja used the clever trick by opening another bank account in the city of Frankfurt, Germany. She was transferring money from the account of MIS Limited to her bank account in Frankfurt. Then she purchased a massive property in London for $20 million by transferring the money from her bank account in Frankfurt to the bank account of Johnson Legal Company, which was only responsible for purchasing the property, and she registered the ownership of the property to a shell company Rosa established in Guernsey, one of the British Islands, and she named it Portshouse Penthouse Limited. In this way, Ruja Ignatova skillfully hid the money without anyone noticing and legally. In October 2016, the OneCoin currency reached its peak and made headlines in global newspapers and websites. To make the best use of these advertisements, Ruja Ignatova decided to open new sales offices in Hong Kong, Dubai, London, and Rome, in addition to fictitious headquarters in Cyprus, Sofia, and Tbilisi. And the goal behind that was to further expand the company's influence in the world and attract many new clients and investors. During this exact period, the number of clients doubled to approximately 1.5 million investors, and the price of the OneCoin currency rose very quickly to $47 per coin. By December of the same year, a group of opposing investors emerged who had been defrauded by the OneCoin company, demanding that governments open an investigation to recover their money. The result of these protests was a decrease in the number of new investors compared to before, and the company began to lose its value in the cryptocurrency exchange. So, Ruja Ignatova planned to improve her company's reputation and respond to these opponents to show people and governments that they are enemies of her success and liars. By organizing a massive concert at the famous Wembley Stadium in London. About 50,000 people attended, and Sebastian Greenwood was present at this event. He introduced her to the audience in the manner of true heroes, asking the audience to all stand and applaud warmly to welcome Ruja Ignatova onto the stage. They presented many awards and gifts, including tablets and Rolex watches, to those who reached the diamond rank. Not only that, but Ruja sent her brother Konstantin Ignatov to Africa, specifically to Uganda, to help people and charitable organizations in the name of the OneCoin company. He also took pictures at an orphanage with infants. The aim behind these aids was to gain the sympathy of people and governments towards Ruja's company, which was harmed due to the opposition of some investors who were defrauded and exposed its scam, in addition to marketing and promoting the OneCoin currency in a charitable way and improving its reputation again. After these events, Ruja Ignatova began hiding her money in a new way, intending to buy gold, precious jewelry, and diamonds every time she visited the British capital, London. The total of these valuable purchases is estimated at $200 million. In December 2016, protests returned to the streets by investors who were victims of the OneCoin currency fraud. The demonstrations this time were more violent than before, prompting the American Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, to step in and open a secret investigation into the OneCoin currency. And authorities around the world began monitoring Ruja Ignatova's movements. However, she learned about an investigation being conducted on her by the FBI. She realized the magnitude of the danger pursuing her this time. So she decided to establish a relationship with Frank Schneider, the head of secret intelligence operations in Luxembourg, making him her secret intelligence chief and right-hand man. where Schneider founded a private security company. Working for Ruja, he spied on the protesters who were victims of the OneCoin currency fraud and pursued them legally for defamation. In this way, he worked to stop the street protests and prevent news of the fraud from spreading, in addition to negotiating with the American Federal Bureau of Investigation and providing them with false information to halt the investigation into the OneCoin currency. In the summer of 2017, Ruja began to feel fear and anxiety as Frank Schneider informed her that the Federal Bureau of Investigation was investigating her and received dangerous information about the fake bank accounts, which made Ruja disappear from sight inside her villa in Sozopol. She also employed many security guards around her and does not want anyone beside her due to the nightmare of fear and tension she lives with around the clock. And to alleviate the pain of psychological pressure, Ruja entered into a romantic relationship with a person named Gilbert, becoming infatuated with him, and he became her lover in a very short time. She gave him her full trust, and he began to collaborate with her in some financial banking activities. Afterwards, Gilbert became responsible for money laundering for the OneCoin network in Britain and America. And in September 2017, Ruja felt that the romantic relationship was starting to hit a dead end, and she began to suspect Gilbert, which led her to order her agent Frank Schneider to plant listening devices in the apartment where Gilbert was staying. Ruja then discovered that her lover Gilbert was a secret employee with the American Federal Bureau of Investigation, and he was spying on her to arrest her. She also realized that the romantic relationship was fabricated by the American authorities to trap her because of what happened. Roja was devastated, and her psychological state became complicated, making it difficult for her to recover. To improve her mental state and aid her recovery, some of her relatives decided to hold a lavish party at her villa in Sozopol, setting up a stage and chairs around the pool. Her family attended this party, and Sebastian Greenwood, along with some of her partners and her lawyer. The attendees were served the best drinks and food ever. After this party, some of Ruja's close friends noticed a change in her behavior, meeting people secretly, and that things were not right. Her friend Asdis Ran suspected that Ruja was planning something, but she didn't know exactly what it was. However, during that period, Ruja was preparing to disappear without leaving a trace, and to pack her bags and secure her money secretly without anyone noticing. Ruja decided to appoint her brother, Konstantin Ignatov, as the manager of OneCoin, and to focus the spotlight solely on him. She justified this decision due to her poor health condition, as doctors advised her to take a break and avoid hardship because she needs a short treatment period to regain her health and return to work at the company stronger than before. However, Roga's partners in OneCoin were not convinced by Konstantin Ignatov because, in their view, he was just an ordinary young man and not up to this responsibility. And on the 23rd of October, 2017, Ruja called her client Frank Schneider, and she told him that she would travel outside Bulgaria and that the reason for her departure from the country was the German authorities' request for the Bulgarian authorities to assist them in a legal matter, as German police officers would be allowed to enter Bulgaria to meet with Ruja and search her properties. And this news reached her from one of her acquaintances in the Bulgarian authorities. Rosa realized this and preferred to leave Bulgaria legally to avoid facing the German police. This required bringing a document proving her departure from the country to present to the Bulgarian authorities upon the arrival of the German police officers. For this reason, Ruja chose Ryanair to have proof of her departure from the country. On the 25th of October of the same year, Ruja left Bulgaria, heading towards Athens. Upon her arrival, she contacted Frank Schneider and told him that she had experienced something very strange. someone contacted her bodyguard and asked him to return to Bulgaria, leaving her alone. That evening, Ruja secretly returned to Bulgaria by car. At 3 in the morning, she sent a message to Frank Schneider, informing him of her safe arrival at her villa in Bulgaria. And that was the last message of communication between them. A few days after her return from Athens, specifically in November of the year 2017, suddenly Ruja Ignatova disappeared from sight without warning, and her phone went out of service as she used a very clever trick. She chartered a private plane and gathered all her wealth and assets, estimated at $5 billion, including property ownership documents and companies she had previously purchased, as well as money, gold, diamonds, and valuable jewelry, and traveled on it to Dubai. She was received by Prince Al-Qasimi, who is a member of the ruling family in the Emirates. He also received money from her in exchange for giving her a banking license to transfer all her worldwide funds to Dubai banks. He also granted her a diplomatic passport and all protection guarantees. Troca also underwent cosmetic surgeries to change her appearance and features to make it difficult to recognize her. After Rosa disappeared from sight, authorities from all over the world continued to search for her by broadcasting her pictures on television to identify her. She also became the #1 most wanted by the American Federal Bureau of Investigation. A sum of $3 million has been allocated for anyone who provides information about her or her hiding place, leading to her arrest. As for Ruja's partners in the OneCoin fraud, her brother continued as the company's director until he was arrested in 2019 by the Bulgarian police and handed over to the FBI. Konstantin Ignatov is still in pretrial detention in New York to this day. As for her partner, Sebastian Greenwood, he was arrested. In September 2023, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison in America. As for the fate of Frank Schneider, he was arrested by the French authorities in the year 2020, and the authorities placed him under house arrest to delve deeper into the investigation with him. In May 2023, Ruja's secret agent Frank Schneider disappeared from his house arrest in France without being found or knowing how he disappeared. Despite Ruja's disappearance, the OneCoin company is still operating to this day, with new managers running the events as if they are managing a regular company that has never stolen people's money. They continue their work normally because they are still making significant financial profits and continue the fraud despite the decrease in transaction volume. These amounts might be sufficient for some individuals only. And you, dear viewer, share your opinion with us in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to our channel to receive all the latest updates.